So I want to talk about how to actually go about getting product catalogs from wholesale suppliers, okay? Now, this is very, very complicated, so I kind of want you to stop and take some notes on it because it's going to be a long process. Are you ready for it? You email them. You email them. That's all it takes. It's not complicated. I'm just joking. So all you really do, people think it's like this complicated scheme. You have to go out and get this product list. You literally email them, okay? So if you're working with a company like EE Distribution or a big company that has a lot of sales reps, you simply email your rep, okay? Case in point. I just simply emailed sales at EE Distribution and my rep emailed me back, hey, I was wondering if you could provide me with an Excel product catalog of the products you currently offer so I can make a few purchases. Thank you for your time. Boom. What did he do? He sent me the attachments right here with the product catalogs, right? And just to give you an example, this is exactly what a product catalog looks like if we download it really fast. Now, another way, as this is downloading, to actually get a product catalog is you can simply go to the website, and if there's like a help or like an email or like a help tab or something like that, or a contact us, you can always contact them and reach out and ask for a product catalog or a detailed, spreadsheet of their products and the products that they offer. Someone will get back to you because they know that if you're looking for that, you're a qualified buyer, obviously, and they're going to want to sell you on that, okay? It's very, very easy. You just reach out, you email them. If you have a rep, email your rep. If not, email the company. It's really that simple, okay? So now let's pull up that product catalog. Let me show you exactly what it looks like. It's not complicated. You can throw any one of these product catalogs into a software like Scan Unlimited, like we're going to talk about, and boom, it's going to spit you out all the data, right? So here you see the product identifiers, the UPCs, the SKUs, the actual name of the product. You also see like the brand, what they're charging, the retail price, and so on and so forth, okay? So that's pretty much a product catalog. That's what they typically look like, and you can see just here with EE Distribution, they offer about 10,000 products. So that's a product catalog. That's how you find one. That's how I recommend that you do as well. So here we are in a wholesale scanning software. And what this basically does is it's Scan Unlimited. You're going to get wholesale supplier lists from your wholesalers, okay? One of the ones that you're going to see me go through a lot is EE Distribution because it is a reputable supplier. They do have a valid sourcing chain with Amazon, obviously, when you can send the invoices in to get ungated. And they have a number of products. I think it's usually anywhere from like 5 to like 15,000 products. Currently, I think at the last scan, which is this one right here, which is 2 days ago, they had about 10,000 products in inventory for sale, right? So there's a lot of potential products there, but if you spend time sourcing through them manually, you're going to give yourself a headache, you're going to waste a lot of time, and you still might not find any good products. That means that if you take wholesale seriously or you want to source wholesale products, you need to save some time by putting all that information, and you can get that from any one of your wholesale suppliers, right? Getting a wholesale spreadsheet from them of all their offerings, right, and all their products, and then putting it into a scanning software like Scan Unlimited, which is going to spit you out all the data, which you can then sort and basically see, so you can source through like, okay, is this a good buy? Is this not a good buy? By simply looking at the net profit, the ROI, and sorting through all the details here. And it's relatively simple, but I've created a tutorial. I'll create a few more in the future. 50% off for the first month for anybody that I recommend. So anybody in the course can use the code. I'll pop it up on the screen right now. Gara, that's my last name. You can get 50% off the first month of the unlimited trial. So if we go back to Scan Unlimited really fast, and we go over to pricing, there's a bunch of different pricing plans, right? So you can obviously just go free. If you only plan on scaling up wholesale slowly and you're not fully jumping into it, or you don't plan on buying and scaling this up as legitimate business, which is totally fine, and you just kind of want to test it out, then go purchase the free plan. I have an affiliate link for all of these. I'll make sure to link that as well. It will be directly above this if you want to go ahead and grab through it. I'd obviously appreciate it. Now, you don't actually need to scale up to the 2-day pass or the unlimited initially. It depends on where your capital is and how much money you have to throw into funds, right? I'm not sitting here saying go directly into the unlimited plan. If you're just starting out and if you're just testing it out, try it free, right? You get one file upload a month, meaning you can grab a wholesale supplier list from any of your wholesale suppliers, and there's obviously an entire list of wholesale suppliers in this module for you to actually sort through and go email the support or email your rep, depending on which one it is, get a list and then put it into the software, and it's going to spit out you leads like this, where you can literally sort through and be like, okay, this is a bad buy, this is a bad buy, this is a bad buy. And you don't have to actually manually do that on the website and literally go from here, take the actual details, find it on Amazon, check the product, right? Can you sell it? Can you do this? Is it profitable? This literally outlines it all for you right here, so you can literally see. Now, obviously, we're super high sales rank, right? Like, where's the sales ranks here? Sales rank. So like 2,000 in toys. So obviously these are all going to be very, very competitive, hence why you're seeing not very good ROIs on a lot of these. But obviously the lower you go, and you'll see that in the tutorials and sort through, there are going to be opportunities to buy products, and then you can buy that product in bulk and make a good money. That's what wholesale is all about, right? But depending on how much you want to actually throw into wholesale, I would recommend starting with free. So getting a wholesale list, uploading one a month, and just kind of testing it out, maybe making a purchase here or there, and just buying from that one list, right? If you do want to kind of scale it up and take it a little bit more seriously, then just go for the 2-day pass, because then you have unlimited uploads for 2 days, meaning before you actually get the pass, right? Go contact all the suppliers, get all their lists, and in 2 days you can literally sit there, do a lot of work, bang out a lot of the different lists, sort through them, and only buy maybe 5 to like 20 different items in quantities of wholesale, and throw a few grand at it in 2 days or whatever, or a few $100 depending on what you're comfortable with. And then you can utilize it that way. Now, if you plan on turning this into a full-time business and actually scaling it up like I do, then I recommend going for the unlimited. And you can get 50% off the unlimited plan for the first month. So the second month, it will be $40. Highly worth it. It's going to pay for itself time and time again. I've tested a bunch of different things. I tested like Source Mogul. I tested a bunch of them like BuyBot Pro, Tactical Arbitrage. I tested like 6 of them. There's a bunch of them on the market. This is the best one in my opinion. It's the easiest to use, and it's the most beginner friendly. Plus, it's super, I just like the interface. It outlines everything for you very, very easily, and it's pretty self-explanatory. That affiliate link will be linked directly below or directly above, depending on where I link it. There will be tutorials on how to use Scan Unlimited to source through wholesale sites and put it into the software so that you can see all that stuff. I'm very excited about this. I think that one of the things that I used to teach before I got heavy into wholesale was sorting through manually, and that is just a nightmare, right? You're going to waste a lot of time, and you might not even find good products. This makes it super simple. It's cut and dry. It's black or white, right? It's either profitable or it's not. It's either a good buy or it's not, and all the information is here for you. Sorting through this, what I want to first do is I want to go down, and I'm going to go 100 per sheet, so I can sort through it a little bit quicker. And keep in mind, too, that I didn't sort through ROI. I didn't sort through, my return. I sorted through the sales rank, okay? Because I want to kind of identify stuff that's moving fast, but stuff that's going to give me a good ROI. So let's scan through, and I'm literally just keeping an eye on this ROI column. That's how I can do it so fast, and obviously I would do this a lot faster if I wasn't creating a tutorial on this, but I'm scanning through and looking for something that catches my eye that I can make money on. So here we go, the first green one, 19.17%, right? Not something I really want to go after, because while I do have a decent amount of cash to throw into this business model, I don't want to tie up my inventory or a lot of my cash flow, for a $1.38 profit. Not really worth it. You might be different, right? If you have like $100,000 to throw at products, by all means, go after products like this, because you're going to just flip your money. Maybe you're turning that 100. What I'm trying to say is you'd be okay with lower profit if you're moving money, because you're flipping all your money at the same time. You have a little bit more cash flow, and you don't need to worry about tying your cash flow up. I don't have $100,000 to throw into products right now. I don't even have like $20,000 to throw into products yet. So I'm not going to go after low ROIs like that. I want a delicate balance, where I'm throwing a couple grand potentially into products that I'm going to be able to access that cash flow if I need to, right? And hopefully sell quickly, but sell for a good ROI. It's a delicate balance. So scrolling back over, here's another 15.9%. That's $8.22 profit, so not terrible, but that typically means that I'm going to have to spend more into this product to get it, so I might be okay with that. That might be okay. So you're spending 51 here. Not ideal. I've seen so many better products, so I'm not going to go ahead and source this. But just to give you an example of how I would do this, if you click this right here, you can pull up the Amazon listing and check into it a little bit. So this is actually selling for $79.99. If I bought it at $51.40, it's basically telling me here, and it's giving me the UPC identifier right here. So right here, I know exactly what I need to go ahead and search for on e-distribution, or I can search through the name, which also is a lot easier. That's going to be huge and crucial for when I actually make my purchase order on e-distribution, okay? So it's telling me that if I sell it at the buy box price and I buy it from EE at $51.40 a unit, And all the fees are right here listed, right? So the FBA fee is $656, the referral fee is $12, the variable closing fee is $180. So it's telling me I'm going to net about $822, but I don't really want to spend $51 to make $822 every time. Not because I have an issue with that ROI or that profit margin. I'd be glad to make $8, but only because I know that there's better products because I've done this so many times. So I'm going to continue to go through and find a better example of a product. And keep in mind, a lot of these here, this is not, I mean, more often than not, there's not going to be profitable products on the side right here. More of them are going to be unprofitable than they're profitable because wholesale is competitive, okay? But because these are so low ranked, and I did sort through the ranks, literally right here we're 5,000, right? So super low ranks. It would, you're not going to see that many profitable items until you get a little bit lower, but obviously you want to scan through, and just to see if there's good opportunities. I think I bought one a couple weeks ago that was like, I want to say 2,000 ranked and had a good ROI, so it is possible you will see them, but just keep that in mind. So another great thing about Scan Unlimited is how fast it is. So when you actually do scan this entire spreadsheet in, and keep in mind it's got I think 10,000 products, almost 10,000 products. So it scans it in like 30 seconds to a minute, so you're not sitting there waiting all day to get your scan and all your information. So 5% ROI, not good, not going after 84 cents, 8%, not good. Let's scan through. And this, while it seems like, for the untrained eye or the person just getting into wholesale, seems like I'm literally searching through this and not finding many things at all. If you sorted through this, just manually, and the people that have sorted through manually know exactly what I'm talking about because I've done it myself too when I first started before I had scanning software, understand just how long it takes to sort manually. This is a time saver, a lifesaver, and it's going to make you a lot more money. So here's a 19% ROI, but it's 86 cents, not my thing. 35%, we're getting a little bit better, but only $1.27, not my thing. 32% with $4.74, not a bad one. So we're spending $14.60 per product. We're making like $4 back, not horrible. I might target something like that, but I'm gonna try to look for a better example for you, just because I want to show you the opportunity here. Now, keep in mind, if you set like an hour aside, you can probably find a good 10 to 15, if not more, products to buy. And obviously, you're not just buying one of those; you're buying a bunch of those products. So, boom! If you buy like 10 to 15 products off this, just using this one software, and obviously you can. Think just how much products you can source if you do this with, not just EE, but all the wholesale sites that I go over in the course. Just imagine how much potential there is there. So all you need to do is find a couple products and then buy a bunch of them, and this software makes that super possible. Here's a great example of a product that I want to check really fast right here. And this, literally, you can be set for the month just buying a couple products like this and then scaling it up that way. So this is a good example. Like I said, 126% ROI, $12.43 profit. Where was that? It's right here. So let's keep an eye on that as we scroll over. It's a Silver Buffalo Disney Alice in Wonderland case. So let me click this to make sure it's legit. $31.92, Silver Buffalo Disney Alice in Wonderland sculpted mug case. $31.92. Is it actually selling well? Let's run the Jungle Scout Chrome extension. 10 sales a day, $270 a month, pretty solid. That is the parent one, but obviously this is selling relatively well as well. And it is the Amazon's choice, so that's a good sign. Now, also, I'll link Jungle Scout down below if you want to grab that as well. That is another affiliate link, but it is a great way that you can basically identify the sales velocity and not just take Amazon's word for it. So if we did scroll down, it would obviously tell me that the sales velocity is very high. Where is it? Yeah, 17,000 in kitchen dining. So another thing is you always want to take the ASIN into Seller Central and make sure that you can sell it. Although when you're sourcing wholesale, especially from a reputable company like EE, if you're planning on buying 10 plus units, you can always use that invoice of this specific product and this specific brand as a way to get ungated if you are gated for that. So just keep that in mind as well. So now I want to go through and I want to find, okay, here's the UPC. Now, because lately when I've been searching on EE, it doesn't actually pull up with the UPC information when I search it, which is a little strange. What I like to do is I'll go back in and I'll run a search. So I'll go Control F on PC. I'm not sure what it is on Mac. And I'll literally paste the UPC into the spreadsheet and find it. So boom, here it is right there. Now I'm going to take the name of the actual item. So if we drag this over, I'm going to take, go away. I'm going to take the name of this actual item and I'm going to search that into the search bar on EE. And that should pop up with the exact item that, okay, so this one's out of stock right here. And this one actually is an item that I actually purchased. I'm not going to show you the purchase order, so that's why I want to kind of give you an example. It looks like obviously this cat mug's out of stock right here, but the other one, the Silver Buffalo right here, I bought like 20 of these units last night. That's how I decided to make this and kind of wanted to kind of touch home on this. So I bought 20 of these units last night. They were on here, but clearly they're either out of stock or on back order. That's why they're not popping up. But this is not the same mug. If you go over to the cat mug, it's not the same and the ROI isn't the same. So that was a great product last night. That shows you just how fast wholesale is, and that's why scanning software like this is super crucial. Let's find a better example since I hopped on that, but obviously nobody else can right now. So 32% ROI, $4 margin right here. Let's check this one out. Rick and Morty molded ceramic coffee. So I'm going to take the UPC because I want to search that, but I also want to check to see if it's a legitimate product. So Rick and Morty right here. And this is selling for, I think, like, what is that? 18 plus 7 is about $25, a little bit under. Looks fairly decent. 18,000 in kitchen dining. So it's telling me that if I buy it for $12.30 and I sell it and match the buy box price, I'm going to make about $4.50 a unit or $4 a unit on this. So let's go through and see if it's actually in stock on EE Distribution. So I need to go back to my spreadsheet. I'm going to search for that actual number. I'm going to grab the description of it. So Rick and Morty mug. I'm going to take it into EE Distribution and search for it so that I can find that. And it should pop up with the actual item right here. And you want to actually find that. So it looks like Rick and Morty's mug right here. Rick and Morty mug right here. So that doesn't look like it's the actual mug. So I'm going to, oh, there it is right there. Boom. Okay. There it is right there. There it is right there. Yep, that's the mug right there. But it is, of course, temporarily out of stock. Another example of how wholesale moves quickly. So there is a saying in wholesale that you want to be first to market or last to market, right? Because if you're in the middle, then you're going to be hit and stuck in a buy box race and a race to the bottom. Although typically when you are selling wholesale, even though there's a lot of competition for the buy box and on that listing, typically wholesalers are more experienced and they're not going to just drop their buy box price and race to the bottom because they don't want to lose money either, right? If you drop the buy box and we keep fighting for a race to the bottom pricing, then we both lose and we're both out of money and profit and we're both stuck with inventory that's unprofitable. So typically when you are matching buy box prices and you're selling on a wholesale listing, there aren't that many on this wholesale listing yet, but I'm sure that will increase within the next month. Typically, the buy box price can drop, but it doesn't drop as quickly as you should as normally anticipated on like a bulk deal listing or a book listing, because a lot of the wholesaler, the people that are sourcing wholesale items like this are not going to want to drop the buy box price and lose a lot of profit, and they're more experienced. So let's try to find another example of a product that you can buy that is profitable and will sort through really quickly. And another great way, and especially with like reputable companies like EE, they send out product lists, so you can obviously keep in touch with your rep and tell them to send you the product lists of all the new hot off the truck items. That's a great way to be first to market. So literally they'll shoot you emails every single time there's a new shipment in for EE and a lot of other wholesale companies. So you can literally just respond back to that email and be like, hey, can I get a product list for this? And boom. Because they're getting a commission, I believe, every single time you buy, they're literally going to shoot you back the product list super fast, run it through Scan Unlimited, and boom, you're in, and you can be first to market fairly quickly if you're on top of your game, and that's not too hard to do. So let's find one product that you can source that's going to be good. 38% ROI, $4.92. Let's check this one out. So BioWorld, Suicide Squad, Harley, it looks like a shirt right there. So BioWorld, Suicide Squad, if we're buying this, it's telling us that we're profitable. We're going to make about $4, if not a little bit more, spending $12.90 every single time. Let's search for it. So Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn Raglan shirt. And you could probably flip this as well on Poshmark and Mercari, but obviously when you're sourcing wholesale like this, the typical idea is to resell it back on Amazon. So I didn't realize this is actually sold out, so that is another bad example of a product that has already been scooped up. All right, so here's the 25% ROI. Not ideal with the profit margin, but I just want to show you an example of a product that you can buy and source. So Monopoly Grab and Go, let's take the UPC. This will obviously move very quickly because it's Monopoly and it's Hasbro. It's only 23,000, in toys and games, I believe. So if we pull this one up, Monopoly Grab and Go, take the UPC and grab the info. So Monopoly Grab and Go. And the reason I don't actually just copy and paste, a lot of people ask me, like, why don't you just copy and paste? You can, but like it's difficult to get it because it's going to click into that. So it's very hard to grab this actual thing right there. So that's why I take it back into the spreadsheet. And temporarily out of stock. So this should come back in stock because it doesn't say out of stock and it doesn't say back order, but that's also a bad example. Not getting a lot of, you can tell I didn't set this up, not getting a lot of help today, but that's okay. That's typically how wholesale is going to be, right? So you want to sort through. This is going to save you a lot of time. It's only probably been like 15 to 20 minutes sorting through this, as opposed to a couple of hours to find one good product. Now, I did this last night and I bought 3 products. I probably bought, I think, 15 of the one, 10 of the other, and I think 20 of the actual one that I showed you. So it is very, very possible. It doesn't take a lot of time, but you do need a little bit of patience to sort through. And there's a 0.56, 4%. All those are D. This one's not bad. It's 16% ROI, but it is $6.79. So not horrible. I am spending $41 to get this, which is not necessarily ideal. But I do want to see if this is in stock to see if it's a good product. So the coupe, it looks like a backpack. And $65, so it is profitable probably if it's in stock. Take it into e-distribution, and boom. And it is in stock, so finally a great deal that we can buy. Now this is not an ideal one, obviously, because you have to spend $41 to make back $6.79 in profit, right? So it is profitable, it is a decent buy, so it is going to move quickly. It is in 29,000 in video games, so pretty decent buy. I would look more into that product, obviously, but that's an example of sourcing through Scan Unlimited and the power of utilizing this software to actually sort through wholesale sites like EE Distribution. Now, step 1 is to get a reseller's permit, okay? So to get a reseller's permit, it's actually very simple. Now, this is for the US. If you're not in the US, it might be slightly different depending on your country. And because I can't really give a one-size-fits-all for outside the US prescription, I would just recommend to Google it. It's got to be relatively easy, especially if you live in like Canada or the UK or a place like that. It can't be too difficult, just like it's very easy to get one in the US, okay? So if you live in the US, obviously you want to go to irs.gov and file for an EIN number. Once you have your EIN number, which I always say like it's kind of like a business social security number, even though it's not. It's just the easiest way to kind of relay that to people that might not have an EIN number and don't understand what they're actually doing, okay? So go to irs.gov, file for an EIN, go to your state website, and use your EIN then to file for a reseller's permit, okay? It might be called a wholesale license or a wholesale permit. There's about 10 different names for it depending on your state. But then once you take your EIN and you go to your state website and you file for a reseller's permit. Now you can usually get both of those within 24 hours from filing back online, so it doesn't take very long, okay? Once you have your reseller's permit, you can then sign up to wholesale websites like we're going to show you here today with that reseller's permit, okay? Step 2 then is to apply to wholesale websites. So step 3 is to reach out to your site rep or just the site in general if they have like a contact us and ask for a product catalog, okay? So most sites will have product catalogs if they're wholesale websites, obviously. And then what I basically do, I reach out to my rep or to the website and I email them and say, hey, I wanted to know if you could send me a list of your latest product catalog because I want to make some purchases, okay? And because you're a vetted, reputable buyer and you're clearly interested in running it through software, which means that you're clearly interested in buying from them, they're going to get that to you fairly quickly. Most of them do, okay? Now, not every site does obviously have product catalogs and lists of their products and how much they cost. And some sites you will actually have to source manually, okay? Case in point, a perfect example of this that I source manually all the time is BBCW Distributors, okay? This is another great site where you can not just sort through toys, but a number of other things. It's a reputable wholesale supplier that Amazon accepts invoices from, but you have to source manually. That's an example of a site that won't give you a product catalog. So, therefore, a lot of people will stay away from those sites because, yes, you do actually have to manually source on them. But keep in mind that this could be a great product opportunity or a great opportunity to find profitable products, because the majority of wholesale sellers are going to be sourcing with software, and that means that there could be great product opportunities that are extremely profitable when you are on the manual sourcing sites, right? Because most people aren't going to want to spend the time to go through them. So if you are willing to actually do that here and there, you can find great products that like a lot of other people aren't selling. So just keep that in mind. I know obviously the benefits of, sourcing through software and saving time are, understated, but every once in a while I do source manually on sites like that when I have some time, and I do find great products that you can buy because a lot of people aren't doing that, okay? So step 4 then is that you want to actually put the product catalog that you get from your wholesale supplier into a scanning software. Now, I use Scan Unlimited. If we look and we pull this up real fast, that's what the tutorial today is going to be on. I'm going to show you how to source through the Scan Unlimited software, how to actually throw the product catalog in there, and all that good stuff. But you want to use the scanning software because if you're not, like I said, the majority of these sites are going to have product catalogs. So why would you spend, in the past, I would literally go through and I'd waste a lot of time manually sourcing sites, but I could have gotten a product catalog and put it into software, okay? So why would you spend, if you don't have to, all the time sourcing manually and wasting hours of your life that you're never going to get back, sourcing manually and looking through products that are never going to make you money, right? You want something, a scanning software that's going to filter out a lot of the bad buys initially, so you're just seeing good buys, so then you can do product research on profitable products and better decide in a shorter time period profitable buys, right? Because the name of the game with wholesale is sourcing profitable products quickly, getting your ROI back, and then scaling up that way, okay? So that will allow you to quickly identify profitable buys, and like I said, I recommend Scan Unlimited. I use it every single day in my wholesale business as well when I resell on Amazon, and I actually set up a deal with wholesale. I set up a deal with Scan Unlimited, so you can get 50% off the first month of a Scan Unlimited package. The link is in the description to Scan Unlimited. It is an affiliate link. If you use the promo code GARA, that's my last name obviously, use the promo code GARA to get 50% off the first month of an unlimited plan with Scan Unlimited, okay? So step 5 then becomes buy the profitable products, right? It's really simple. Once you identify them, simply buy them, make an order for them, have them shipped into FBA for you. Now, there's many ways to do it. Some people, and I do this every once in a while, some people like to order them to their house or their location first, or their warehouse if you're already scaled up a little bit, to inspect them. So if it's like a site that's not very reputable, that you're kind of still vetting, that you don't have a relationship with, obviously everybody sources from EE Distribution, so you don't have to do it with EE Distribution. Or if maybe you're trying to vet a product that you want to purchase a lot of, and you want to kind of test the quality before you purchase like a few hundred units of that product, then you might want to get it shipped to you first to inspect it and then ship it into FBA yourself. But the majority of the time, you're going to have it shipped into FBA directly from the wholesale supplier, and then you never actually have to touch the products. They'll do all the packaging for you. FBA will receive them and label them for you, and boom, that's how you can scale it quickly with a lot less of your time, right? So buy the profitable products, have them shipped into FBA, let them sell out, and then collect the ROI, okay? Rinse, repeat, and scale. It's really that simple. Now let's actually talk about how to set up Scan Unlimited. And because my Scan Unlimited is actually that's the wrong word, actually scanning a number of files in right now, I can't actually show you the putting the file in, but it's really simple, so I just took some pictures here. So when you actually click the green button on Scan Unlimited, and I'm going to show you the software right now because it's already scanning files, but I can show you a file that I already have uploaded, and we'll source through this one, which is an EE distribution file, okay? So we're going to do that here in a second. But it's really, really simple, okay? So you just put the file we click the green button in the bottom left, you put the file in, whatever your product catalog is. It's pretty simple, okay? And then what you basically want to do, the first thing that you want to do is you want to tell Scan Unlimited how to identify the products within your spreadsheet. So here's my spreadsheet right here that I got from EE Distribution. So if we scroll all the way over, there's going to be a product identifier. Sometimes it's a SKU, sometimes it's an ASIN, sometimes it's UPC. Most of the times it's UPC for me, so I always identify it with the UPC. So when you go back to the Scan Unlimited dashboard right here, you're going to literally click UPC, okay? Then you can obviously identify your name. You can write something in there if you want to identify your scan specifically so you can remember it. You want to check that the file has headers. Now, sometimes the file doesn't have headers, and all headers are right here is like these right here. So SKU, UPC, right? If this wasn't here and we deleted this and it didn't have any headers, then obviously the file wouldn't have headers, okay? But ours does. The majority of files that I've seen, I don't think I've ever gotten a file that didn't have headers. So make sure that that's clicked. Pretty self-explanatory there, okay? So then we did tell the software how to identify it by clicking UPC. We named it. We said the file has headers. Now we have to actually select the column that identifier is in, right? So product ID column, and all you're basically going to do, we already told it UPC, you're going to click this one down, click UPC, okay? Same thing with the cost column. You're going to click this one down, scroll all the way down to identify the cost column. So, because you actually put the file in, it's going to have all your columns with the file headers in these two when you click them down, okay? So if we go back to our file, where's our cost? Well, it's in the U column right here as the first price per piece, right? This is our cost per piece if we purchase a case of each one, okay? So that's where it is. It's in U, price per piece. Boom, that's where we put it. Now we want to categorize it as the currency, so we know it's US dollars, right? Because our spreadsheet is in US dollars, because EE Distribution is a US-based company. Now, if you're sourcing from another company that's overseas or somewhere else, then you probably might want to change that to whatever currency your file is in, okay? Clearly, ours is in US dollars because EE Distribution is a US-based company, okay? Then I personally don't put anything in the cost column or into the custom columns right here. And then I just hit start. So once your file is actually done scanning, though, you can start looking through and sorting through your file so that you can better identify profitable products quicker and make better buys fast, okay? So you're not wasting a lot of time. You're literally letting your products, you're obviously letting EE package your products, ship them into FBA receive your products, label them, do all the fulfillment for you. So all you literally have to do is source online from your computer and then manage your back end and your products' prices in Seller Central, make the markup, rinse and repeat. It's super simple, okay? So I'm going to set a filter, which is an example that I didn't go through in the last one. So you always want to filter it because that's going to save you time. So you can filter it by ROI or profit or both. I like to do it that way. I'm also going to, there's many ways to do it. You can obviously scroll over and organize it by profit up and down, and I'll show you that here in a second. I usually like to go sales rank because that's basically going to tell you what's selling the fastest, and then we're going to go down from there. But like I said, we want to put a filter in, right? So we're going to click the filter button. We're going to scroll all the way down to ROI, and I'm going to hit greater than, let's go 30 this time. I usually go 20 to 30, sometimes 40, and that's going to basically put anything greater than 30, and we're going to add it. Anything greater than a 30% ROI is going to be shown on this spreadsheet, organized for us to look through so we can identify profitable products, right? So that's going to take out all the unprofitable products that have any ROI less than 30% on our money, okay? And that's a great way to sort it. It's basically going to save us a lot of time and only spit us out product leads, so to speak, that we can buy that are 30% ROI or greater. So now that it's done filtering, we can scroll over. You can also organize this by net profit and ROI and, kind of filter it so that the highest ROIs or net profit are at the top within those parameters that you already filtered. I'm going to keep it organized by sales rank so that I know exactly where sales rank right here, so that I know exactly what products are selling quickly the fastest, right? So this is 12,000 in toys and games. So it still has a 35% ROI, but the net profit's a little low at $1.27, not necessarily something I want to go after. Now, I actually did buy a couple of these already in the past. I looked at Fallout. I think it was a bad one. I actually bought this Silver Buffalo one before, and it's currently on its way to FBA. Should be received any day now. I think I looked through the BioWorld and the Rick and Morty. I looked through Rick and Morty. I feel like that was a bad product, or maybe it was out of stock last time. So here's a 32% ROI with $9 profit margin. Not bad at all. So you're spending a little bit more into this product, but it looks like it's, potentially a good product. So we're going to click the Destiny thing and see if it checks out. Okay, so it's $43 right here. And you're going to want to take the UPC. Where's the Destiny one right here? UPC. So you're spending $28 to make like 9 something ROI, which ends up being like a 35%, I think it was ROI. So we're going to take that UPC back into the spreadsheet. We're going to search for it. And it's going to spit us out that thing where we can copy it, the name, and take it back into EE Distribution, search for it in the product search, and it's going to pop up that product. Now, this is also sold out, so that's a bad product. I'm going to find one for you today. Now, obviously, I would go through this a lot faster, and we probably would find a product a lot faster, but I'm trying to give you a tutorial so that you understand how to source from it. So Here's a 70. Let's see another one we like. This is a 50% ROI with $4. Not a bad one. What is this one? Vander Disney Mickey Mouse Holiday Ceramic Mug. Now this is breakable, so usually it's something I like to stay away from, although if it's profitable, I might source a few of them. It's a little strange that this is selling fairly well, so I kind of want to look into it because it does look like it's a holiday mug. So let's check the sales velocity of here. It's 82,000 in kitchen and dining, so not selling that great, but it is still selling probably. So 1 a day, roughly 30 a month. What does the competition on this listing look like? So if we scroll up, there's 6 sellers on this listing. Who's on it? We can obviously use the online seller add-on, which is free. It's free in the Chrome store. I recommend that you download it. So it looks like Entertainment Earth is actually selling one of these as well. So that's a good sign that they feel enough to source their own product, obviously, and resell it. And that's typical. Sometimes you're going to be, you're going to be going against your wholesale manufacturer here and there. You're also going to be going against a lot of people that are sourcing from that same wholesale manufacturer. So the good thing about this is, while it's only selling 1 a day roughly and 30 a month roughly, it does look like it's a pretty good offer. It clearly has a margin right here because it's $19.90, right? And on top of that, everybody on this listing is selling a new product and they don't have a lot of inventory. So that's a good sign. Now, if you didn't have the online seller add-on, you could obviously just click the offers tab right here and sort through the new and FBA listings because those are the only people you're really going to be competing against. So then, therefore, it only shows you 3 people right here. So we're really only competing against 3 different people here. We're not competing against the other ones because they're fulfilling by merchant, and it's more difficult to get the buy box when you're fulfilling by merchant, okay? So this product might actually be good. Let's look a little bit into it. Now, typically speaking, you're going to see a lot of better products selling a lot faster. And because on the Scan Unlimited software, we kind of sorted through a bunch of products that were selling fast right here. So I sourced a couple of these already. And a lot of these, might have lower ROIs, but they're selling pretty fast, right? This has a $1.27 ROI. This has a $4 ROI. But their sales rank is 12,000 and 14,000 respectively, so they're clearly selling very, very fast, right? So you got to pick, a balance between profit and fast sales because you don't want to tie up a lot of your cash flow for a long time, okay? So let's look a little bit more in depth in this in EE distribution. Let's go back and find that one. It was the mug, and I lost track of it. Okay, so here's the mug right here. We're going to take the UPC right here, and we're going to take it into the spreadsheet because we want to find out what the actual name of it is. Now, we know, obviously, let's copy this. We know, obviously, the name on Scan Unlimited is right here, but we can't actually copy and paste this because it's clickable, and it'll take you to the Amazon listing. That's why I go back into the spreadsheet and get it, so then I can copy it and put it into the product search on EE distribution. So, of course, temporarily out of stock. So, becomes a bad product. And this is typical. Obviously, I would sort through a lot faster with this. And, one of the things here is wholesale is very, very competitive. So depending on your manufacturer or your supplier that you're getting it from, you want to be first to market or last to market, right? So typically they're going to give you updates, especially if it's a reputable big company like EE. They're going to give you email updates when they have new products. As soon as you get an email update that they have new products in, you want to email them, get a product catalog, put it in the software quickly, and obviously start scanning and sorting through deals so you can be one of the first to market to get that. That will give you a lot of better product buys, and obviously because this is an old spreadsheet, because my software is currently updating with new stuff, I'm sourcing from older products and older buys that people have already gone through, okay? So let's scroll all the way down. Let's see a 70% ROI here with $8. Let's check that one out. AccuTime Star Wars Millennium Falcon. That's pretty cool. Pocket watch. So there is a margin there because we're going to source it for $12.50. It's selling for $28.98. It looks like sold by Dragon's Emporium, so there's only 2 left on this listing, and there's only 1 person selling it. But is it selling well? It's not selling well because it's $352 in toys and games. So we need to go back up the spreadsheet a little bit to something that's selling a little bit better. Let's go down to like under 100,000 seller rank. So we could obviously put that in a filter as well, but I'm not going to do that right here. So here's one that's 38%, a little bit lower net profit than I'd like, but let's check it out. So it is a Vandor Star Wars Porg mugs, more mugs. So $14.90, what are you sourcing it from? So $5.60, it might be a good potential buy. There's 8 people on the listing. The buy box is $14.90. It's $171,000, so it looks like since I actually scanned this listing in, this has changed, and that's another reason you want to be first to market, and it doesn't look like it's actually selling well anymore. So let's go back up and find a better one. So this is 42% ROI with $2.82, a little bit lower than I'd like, Funko Pop Star Wars Chewie thing. That's pretty funny. So $15.10. You're going to source it for $6.60, so that's probably a profitable buy. It looks like the buy box price, like I said, $15.10. It's 47 in toys and games, so it might be selling fairly well. It's probably going to be sold out on EE distribution, but let's check. 5 daily sales, 130 monthly sales, so there is a market for it. And there's 21 sellers on the listing, but we want to check to see who we're actually competing against, right? So if we actually open this up in a new window and we sort through and we go FBA offers and new offers, we're going to see what our actual competition looks like. And there looks like there's 3, 6, 9 sellers roughly on this listing currently. All of them are a little bit higher than 15. So the only one that's under 15 is Amazon. How many units does Amazon have? Amazon only has 3 units. So that's not something that really scares me because they only have 3 units. So they're going to sell out of this fairly quickly. So let's go back to the product listing then and see if we can actually source this on Amazon for a profit, right? So we want to take the UPC. We're going to take it into the spreadsheet, search for that UPC. It's going to bring up the product, which we can then grab. We're going to take the name of the product. We're going to take it back to EE distribution, and boom, paste it in there, and it's going to pop up with the product. And of course, it's temporarily out of stock. So you can add this to your wish list potentially. I'm not going to continue to waste your time and sort through. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory. We didn't find a profitable product today, but obviously there's a couple in here that I've already purchased. Now, I would need an updated product file to actually find one in the future. If you actually go through my last tutorial, there are other products. I think I sourced 3 of them in that actual specific tutorial from this spreadsheet. About a week and a half has elapsed, so obviously a lot of these products are a little bit outdated and bad. You want to stay relevant with your product lists, which is the importance of obviously A, being first to market or last to market, but B, also having other wholesale suppliers that you can pull product lists from, which you can then throw into the software. So it gives you other options, of profitable products to source from all sorts of wholesale suppliers, right? So when you're actually making a purchase from a wholesale supplier, you have several options, and I'm going to run through the positives and the negatives of those actual options, okay? First and foremost, you could actually order it to your location, right? So if you have a warehouse, or the majority of you probably are at a house or like an apartment or something like that, then you can simply have it shipped to you if it's not like a bunch of units, right? If you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on products, probably not a good idea to have it shipped to you because it's going to show up with like huge boxes, maybe even a pallet to your actual apartment or your house. Not necessarily a good idea. But if you're ordering, anywhere from like under 100 units or something like that, probably a good idea potentially to have it shipped to you for the second reason, like we're going to talk about here, not necessarily the first reason. Now, some people that I know do actually order wholesale if they have, like seller fulfilled Prime set up, which you obviously won't. I don't have seller fulfilled Prime set up. Currently, there's a waiting list for it, so it's difficult to even get into it. But you can have it shipped to you or your location to actually do FBM, which is fulfillment by merchant, So if you don't understand what fulfillment by merchant is, all it basically is, it just means you're doing the shipping out yourself, right? Somebody orders this highlighter on Amazon, I'm fulfilling it as a merchant, then I have to package it up with the stuff that you see behind me, obviously. I do this every single day, not on Amazon, but on other sites. And then I literally ship it to the customer myself, right? I package it up, I print the label out, I tape the label, I drop it off at the post office or UPS or wherever, okay? That's fulfilled by merchant, okay? I don't necessarily recommend that you do this, especially with wholesale, because it is a little bit harder to get the buy box, and that's something that we'll talk about a little bit more in depth in this course, okay? The second thing is that you can have it shipped to you, obviously, but the main goal of that is for your inspection, right? So if you're ordering, for example, from a company that you don't have a history of, or not a reputable company, or like a company that's like a new company that you're not familiar with, you can order the products to yourself first so that you can inspect them and make sure that they're good. Then once you inspect them, you can ship them into FBA yourself. And I have an entire tutorial coming on in this course on how to ship into FBA. It's very, very simple. You can watch that and in about 30 minutes understand how to ship into FBA, and you'll be able to do it yourself, okay? Or what I usually do now, if it's a company I'm used to working with, or if it's a company that I know somebody else that I network with and trust has worked with in the past, I'll actually just order from the company and have them ship it into FBA for me. That way I never touch the products. I simply order them online on my computer. They do all the shipping into FBA. FBA receives it, does all the fulfillment for me, and I just manage my inventory in Seller Central, which is also something we'll talk about in this course at a later date, okay? Those are your 3 options. Get it shipped to you and fulfilled by merchant, I don't recommend that you do that because it's going to be harder for you to get the buy box. And if you get the buy box, it will be at a lower price point than your FBA competitors. So you're putting yourself at a disadvantage in most cases. Not all cases, in most cases. You could get it shipped to you, which I recommend that you do initially if it's a company that you're unfamiliar with, to inspect the products, and then you can ship them into FBA yourself, like we're going to talk about in a future lecture. The benefit of that, obviously, is you get to see the products and inspect them. The drawback, obviously, is that you have to spend more money to get them shipped twice, right? So instead of just paying to ship them into FBA or get paid to ship them to you, you have to pay to get them shipped to you and then pay to ship them into FBA, okay? So that's a drawback of it, although you do get the benefit of inspecting it so that you can learn to trust that company in the future and maybe in your next order, ship it into FBA. Or you can just do what I do if you're used to working with the company or it's EE Distribution. I'm telling you, EE Distribution is a phenomenal company. You can simply just have them ship it into FBA for you. All options are on the table. All have their benefits and drawbacks. Use them accordingly.